Hi there, Virgo. Welcome to a tarot reading for the week of September 10th through the 17th. It's Raina here, and you have the honor of the first reading I'm doing for using this deck. This is the Morgan Greer deck. This is one of the first one. This was like my go-to deck for many years, and then I lost one of the cards or misplaced it. And I didn't have it for a long time. I got like a mini version, and that didn't really do the trick. So I'm back to the original. I just got a new deck. And you're the first sign in over 9 years for me to use ring lights. I got like a small ring light. I don't really like, because it's nighttime. I don't have an overhead light in general. So not sure if the light is too harsh, but at least it'll show up better. So I created a different file so I'd be able to put all the cards out a lot easier. And I feel like with a ring light that the resolution will be better, but we'll see if that works out. I prefer to record during the day, the daylight in general, but I couldn't wait to kind of try it out. Oh my goodness, look at all those swords. Okay. So the heart of the matter is the Page of Cups. This is a card that is connected to Pisces, your opposite sign. Well, in this time frame, there will be a lunar eclipse in Pisces, which is your 7th house of committed relationship. I have a feeling that there are some long-suffering Virgo people who have been on again, off again with someone, and trust has really been abused, and you're in this, what I consider a horrible state where you want to trust someone that you love, but you're not sure that you can. And the reason it's so horrible is because we always want to believe that the person that we care about has our best interest at heart, and also that what they say, that they mean what they say, and they say what they mean. And if you're with someone, it doesn't have to be a Pisces, even though this card is connected to Pisces. The idea of the Page of Cups can be this, it's like the child. That's what the Page of Cups represents. So it can be this feeling of, am I being a fool? Am I being this naive kid who just believes everything that is told to him or her? And you may be tired of that. Virgo people are very matter of fact and down to earth. They don't want to have to deal with people that are complicated, that have all these issues that you have to kind of forgive constantly. And because Neptune has been transiting that 7th house and will be engaged too with this lunar eclipse, this is going to bring it even more to the forefront for you. This issue about love and relationship and really commitment. It's not just about love, because sometimes love isn't enough. You have to also have some kind of mutuality. It's like when you love someone and they're not committed to you, that can feel like you're a glutton for punishment to even continue dealing with that person. So you may be going through a lot, and that lunar eclipse may bring it up so readily for you about this issue. As a matter of fact, because Neptune is retrograding and it will form a conjunction with that lunar eclipse, it could be a real in-your-face moment where something secret, hidden comes out, and you are forced to deal with it full on. It's not, there's no buffer anymore. But it is really, I think it's going to be a very great opportunity for those Virgo people who have been struggling to end a relationship forever to be able to move on and mean it. So in that case, it could be good. But for some people, you need to learn how to trust. Maybe you have this wonderful person, and maybe that lunar eclipse is you taking the plunge and not allowing the past to be something that holds you back. Speaking of the past, in the past position, we have the Eight of Wands, which is a lot of forward moving energy all at once. So, this can suggest that for some of you, like if this is a relationship issue that you're dealing with, that it was moving too fast and maybe you didn't really vet it, you didn't take time to figure out what's going on, and that's what led to where you're at right now. Because Wands is fire energy and it's very passionate. And another thing too is that the Page of Cups can be a child. So it might be that in some cases, I'm not saying all, but a child was conceived when you barely knew somebody, and it was just a very kind of like a very fast moving affair. And now you're faced with this issue and there is a decision at hand, but you may be not seeing clearly about it. Also, any kind of job offer that you get, because you just had a new moon in your sign recently, so you may have been going back and forth with that potential employer, but there might be this feeling of being rushed to make a decision, and that may kind of set off the alarm bells somehow, that perhaps you're not being given the full story, and you don't like that feeling of having to discern whether or not something's true, because you may honestly believe that you don't know for sure if it's true, and that you're not sure that you can even prove it. And it's like, what do I do now? The higher message is the Page of Wands. This is a card of good news. So it may be that you don't have to do something. You may think that you have to talk to a person about your trepidations or something, but there may be some kind of like a message that comes through that is good news. I always put the title for this one, Start Spreading the News, because it is about good news. And it's also about the beginning stages of an endeavor that is very joyful. And so the pages are messages, but they also can be like that, the early stages, just like the ace is the initiation, the page is the early stage of something. And that could mean, and because it's water, the cups is water and the wands is fire, it could be something that is very meaningful to you emotionally. And that it's really like speaks to you. It really feels like it's about creativity, but there's like this sense that you are engaged because this is your baby. I mean, with the Page of Cups, it can be literally your baby or your child, but just a creative project that's like a passion project, you could say. And the bottom line is that as you are doing it, if this is something that you are in the midst of, it may have come on you all of a sudden and it's taking you on a ride. But because you're an earth sign, you may want some kind of outer proof, tangible proof that what you're doing is going to lead to something. And sometimes you have to just go for the ride when you're dealing with the creative process. You can't be over analyzing things, which Virgos tend to do. But I do think that if this is relationship related, that that could be a different story, that perhaps somebody else is trying to pressure you into something and it just is feeling too much too soon. What crosses you is the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords in the upright position, or if I read it in the upright position, would be clarity of thought. The aces are initiation, so it's going in maybe a new direction, knowing exactly what it is that you want, what is going on around you. So, for instance, if you started a new job, you know that this is something that you want to do, that you feel like you are good at. There's not those lingering doubts. But this is in the challenge position, so it could be, muddled thinkings, feeling like you don't know what's going on. But I feel like there could be somebody who's being deceptive towards you. And again, referencing the Pisces energy, and even forget about the lunar eclipse. I mean, just the Neptune, the seventh house, at some point during this transit, I think Neptune is at the 29th degree. I don't know if it is there exactly right now, but it did get up to the 29th degree of, and I think even like 59 minutes or something, like almost at Aries before it retrograded. And when it does go into Aries in 2025, and we could just say even more so when it leaves that seventh house for you, Virgo, then perhaps you won't have to deal with that kind of issue anymore, because some of you may very well have experienced a situation where you got involved with somebody, and this is the seventh house is a commitment phase, and it turned out that they were not who they claimed to be. And it may have been quite disillusioning because you probably pride yourself on being very aware of other people, you might notice little details about their behavior and stuff, and you never saw it coming. And this is because you may have a little bit more muddled thinking, especially in the area of relationships. And if this is like a business partnership, that Neptune transit is affecting those as well. Like, when you join forces with another person. What's coming in is the King of Swords, and the last two cards I got, and believe me, as a new deck, I did separate the cards because they were in order. I was counting them to make sure that they're all there. I recommend everybody do that. When you get a new deck of cards, don't just assume that they're all there. But in recent decks, I have noticed that they mix them up. They don't just have them in the order that they belong, so that you don't have to shuffle them that much. Well, the King and Queen still showed up even though I shuffled them. So there you go. I mean, and I actually put them in different areas when I before I shuffled them. So the King of Swords, as the energy coming in, is a very, very detached energy. And this could actually be somebody else. This could be like a judge, somebody who is deciding some sort of case. Now, this could be like a child custody issue or child support issue. I think it would be more like custody, because the cups are more about the emotions rather than, pentacles or anything like that. And so you may be, I think that you ultimately will hear the good news that you want to hear. But there may be cross communications, or at least maybe even deceptive things that are told to you at first. The King of Swords can be the judge who is deciding the case. When it comes to you, whatever is going on here, you have to be uh stay above the fray, because your emotions, which is at the center of this reading, may be very, very strong. You may feel like something is really tugging at your heartstrings. And yet, if you allow that to happen, it could throw you off in your life as a whole. It could be a distraction. And the outcome card is the Queen of Swords. And sometimes this is a card where it's like you have to put your feelings aside for the higher good of logic and, just self-protection even, because not to say this is going to always be for women, but if you're like a mother, you may feel like your child is everything to you and you do not want your baby to be disrespected or kind of dismissed. And but on the other hand, if you don't trust that other parent, you may really hope that you can see a decision that is speaking to you and favorable to you. I do think with the Page of Wands that will happen. Also, just in general with your love life, if this is about your love life, um, you may have compassion and even love someone and still realize that you are better off without them. And this can be like you having a decision to make. Do you want to keep hoping that somebody is going to change their ways? Or are you ready to move on? And really, you're the only one who can determine that. But it comes from looking at the situation rationally, not with your emotions engaged and, wanting to believe ridiculous things. Maybe you want to believe the lies that you're being told, but you know that that's not going to lead anywhere good. So it could be a very emotional time for you at the time of that eclipse, and but it might be liberating too, because the last two cards I got were swords, so it can be detachment is the key. All right, that's what I have for you, Virgo. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, I'm promoting my double astrological readings, called my deep dive readings, an hour of natal chart interpretation, hour of transits for the upcoming 12 months for a special price. I have love readings, career readings, you name it. You can find out more information at the link below. Thanks for watching. Bye.